On this episode of Street Right Garage, getting the police car ready for the street. So if you have been paying attention to my auction videos, I won this car on govdeals.com. It's a 2008 Crown Victoria. We won it over in Ohio. We're from Indiana, but this is a fully equipped police car. It still has all the lights. It has the sirens. You know, it has everything that it was in service with, except for the markings on the door. And you can see right there, it said Oxford Police right there. So one of the things we need to do is come in here. This is still sticky. We need to get this glue off the side of the car and give it a good buffing. And I was looking in the light here, and you can see handprints. There's a few handprints on this car where apparently somebody must have been, you know, arrested, manhandled, or what have you. Actually, there's more here. There's a whole bunch of handprints all across the back of this car. So apparently that was the go-to thing to do. I would imagine you were putting your hands on the car and being frisked and patted down and then handcuffed like that. I mean, it's all over, mostly on this side of the car. There's a few on this side, but mostly everything's right here on this side. They probably come over here and put you in this door of the car, but it seems to be their common go-to. It's all scuffed and there's scratches all along here where, you know, they're probably handcuffs, something like that. But the paint's real dull and scratchy all in this area. So there's gonna be a lot of buffing to do on this, and you know, there's a lot of scratches here too. So I imagine the same thing. These are probably handcuff scratches from where they were leaned up against the side of the car and the handcuffs were scratching up this car pretty good all along here. I'm not sure what that's from, but there was a few. Yeah, see, there's some here too. Handcuff scratches. So this this may have been a transportation vehicle, because it also has the bars here. It also has the hard plastic seats. These are a couple panels that I was, you know, looking underneath the hood. It has hard plastic seats, so it makes it easy to clean out, which now I'm thinking about that. Maybe I shouldn't be touching this. Anyway, you also cannot hide any evidence down in between the seats because it's all blocked off. And it also has the cage right here. Very, very durable cage. So, yeah, and there's no door handles. So if we come in here and we shut the door, well, guess what? We can't get out. We probably could get out since I have the window open, but if we didn't have the window open, we're not getting out of this thing at all. So I'm not going to shut that door just in case something happens to the outer door handle and I'm stuck in here. But yeah, it would work, but only if this window was open. So you can't, there's no way to get out of this car once you're enclosed into it from the inside. Now, as I stated before, this is the 2008 model. So there's like a couple different designs, not really designs, but functions that they put on these cars from 1998 to, I think, what was it, 2000 and, what year was it? No, 2011, I believe was the last year. Yeah, 2011 was the last year for these cars. So 1998 to 2011, they made these cars with a kind of a change, I think, in 2003. Now, one of the differences, it's like these rims. It's more of an outset rim. I kind of like the inset rim. It makes it appear a little bit deeper on the wheels. I like the look of those better, but Those are going away. You don't see as many of them. These are the ones that you're seeing nowadays. It has the light bar. This light bar is red and blue. It has these mirror markers. It has the old spotlight, which you know, is totally legal to have on the car, just as long as you don't go around shining it in people's faces. So you can have a spotlight on your car. What you cannot use on the street, at least in Indiana, are red and blue lights, or red lights facing forward, or blue lights facing forward if you're not a member of the volunteer fire department. So volunteer fire department can have blue lights flashing forward. There's fire department has red lights flashing forward. Police have red and blue lights flashing forward. Tow trucks, emergency, not sort of roadside assistance, clear lights or amber lights flashing forward. So this is totally illegal to flash on the street, but it's not illegal to own. And there it is. But getting that past a police officer and explaining that might be a little bit difficult. Now it also has wig-wagging headlights, it has strobe lights, it has all the regular cop stuff. I don't know if there's any, there doesn't appear to be any lights in the grill, but there is a siren horn right in there. So also one other thing, that it's not illegal to own it, but it's a highly illegal to use it on the public highways and roadways of Indiana. So in addition to these guys, it has a little light here. It has lights here wrapped around the tail lights. So, and probably something back here. There's another one there. So the problem is they clipped the wires on there to sort of give a, I don't know, an error of responsibility that they, hey, they disconnected the lights and sirens, so this is non-functional. So our job today is to make it functional again. What could go wrong? Now, with this particular car, I have decided not to drive it on the street, even though the lights really won't make a difference. There is one thing that Indiana law has that enables or disables me from driving this on the street, and it's the color scheme of the car. Believe it or not, there is a law in Indiana that says that you cannot drive a two-toned, previously owned police car that has the color scheme of another police agency here in Indiana. So there are police agencies that have black and white color schemes, just like this car. There's some that have brown and tan color schemes. The Sheriff Association, they're all brown and tan. You're not supposed to drive those. And that all comes from some police impersonators driving two-tone cars. I think it was mostly brown and tan sheriff cars. So they said, hey, no brown and tan sheriff's cars. That'll prevent police impersonators. Well, that's all well and good, but there's a lot of agencies with purely white Crown Victorias, like the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. They're all plain white cars. And now the Sheriff's Department here in Marion County, Indiana, they're also all white police cars. And there's some agencies that have all black police cars. So you have white police cars and you have black police cars that you can drive legally in the state of Indiana. And if you wanted to be a police impersonator, you could use those. But if you use a brown and tan or a black and white one, no, you can't do that. So the law doesn't quite make any sense, and it's preventing us from driving a black and white police car, which also doesn't make any sense because the black and white police cars are marked with badging on the side. There's none that I know of that are just black and white with no markings on the side, but there are a whole lot of plain white police cars with no markings on the side, whole lot of black police cars with no markings on the side. Oh, I forgot, the state police, they also use white police cars, and they also have some black ones too, with, you know, no badging on the sides. So they drive plain black police cars. They drive plain gray police cars. They drive, I think I've seen some maroon ones. And they also have, you know, some trucks and some other SUVs. They're driving Dodge Durangos now. They have Dodge Chargers. Now we need to go ahead and jump into what we're here for. So all that I did was pull this box out and to look to see what happened here. So they disconnected these two wires, main wires that go to the siren box and the light control switch. But there's all of this other stuff in here. There's these giant stereo system looking fuses. There's two of these guys. There's this wiring from I don't know what, but wasn't being used anymore. They had this radio mounted out in there. This radio was mounted. I removed that to look in there. This didn't have a plate on it anymore. They took the plate and used it somewhere else, and this box was in there. That was all covering this up, and I needed to look in here and look at this, you know, mess of spaghetti that is in here. Wow. So I got my old test light out, and I tested all of this, and there's nothing. There's nothing here. The only thing that had power is this one connector that went to this radio right here. Only thing in this whole entire mess that has power. So the wires that were cut come here. You got these two big thick wires coming out of this fuse terminal, which, you know, there's no power here. This is a lead-in wire right here, and it's not as thick as, you know, at least this wire here for whatever reason. And we have no power right here either. So, you know, we must have a fuse or something down line. I looked underneath the hood. I didn't see anything. We're going to have to pull the interior out in order to find where these wires go. So let me yank these seats out, pull this carpet up. It's a mat actually, and look and see what we have. All the wiring should be going out that side. Now, another problem we have is the hood shocks. Maintenance on these cars is usually pretty good. This pipe is way too long, and it's not going to stay up. Let me grab something else real quick. Okay, let's try this guy. It's a bit shorter. So there. Hopefully that stays up without smashing my fingers. But 4.6 liter engine. Great engines. They use these guys in the Mustangs around the same era. This does have a bigger alternator. I don't remember how many volts or whatever, you know, it puts out, but it does have a bigger alternator than a standard Crown Vics. I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember, but they may not have the resonators on these. I haven't looked either, where just the catalytic converters, maybe minus the resonators. They made some exceptions on the police package cars. I took this plate out right here to look at the wiring, the siren box, and these weird brown wires that almost look like extension cord wires, but I don't think they are. But brown wires underneath the hood of a car always worry me a little bit. So I traced these guys, and the siren box is still hooked up, so we should be good there. It has this big old toggle switch right here. Not blade switch, I guess that's what you call it. They told me that they parked this car for an extended period of time, so they wanted to disconnect the battery, but it just seems a little weird that they put that kind of cheesy thing on there. I got that weird little flashy box right there. I got a bunch of fuses right here that I have checked, and they're all good. These connections all seem to be solid, so I need to find out where the problem is in between here and the inside that we're not getting power. All right, I just finished unbolting this seat, which was no small task because they put this laptop mount in. They had to extend the bolts, and they put in these cheesy low-grade bolts, which is a little concerning because they go to the seat, and I had to grind one of them out because it was rusted and would not come out. So, but in the back, they did have a one really large bolt, so hopefully that would keep it from coming loose. But the divider, it makes it very difficult to get to the back bolts. You just have to put your arm in there and work it around. So I just unloosened those bolts, and I'm just now taking the seat out. So let's see what kind of goodies we have underneath the seat. There's always something good hiding in the seats of a police car. Oh, and there's a wiring harness that goes there that I forgot to take out. Oops. At least we can see what's underneath the seat. All right, let's play what is underneath the seat of the police car. Well, butane, what would have been butane to refill your cigarette lighter, and well, City of Oxford, Ohio parking tickets, it looks like. Only a couple of those left. Those are probably no good. And air wicks, a battery for something, grossness. That's the one big bolt that was underneath there. So it has this big stud right here, one small stud here, and then it just had the cheesy, cheap ones up front. Not much underneath it here. A token for a car wash, so we can go wash a car in Ohio somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's a couple of them. All right, we have tokens. We can go wash a car somewhere. I don't know where, but we're gonna find that car wash and get us a free car wash. And just a bunch of miscellaneous garbage. Yep, nothing good. No guns, police ticket writing pen, and that's it. Nothing good. Well, I'm gonna pull up this mat and see what we have underneath there, see if we can track down some of this wiring and see why it's not hot. Okay, pulled up the carpet. Look at the insanity that is this wiring. Are you kidding me with this? Why? This is a mess. This is a bundle of spaghetti. It is awful. I mean, there's stuff just wound up. Why do you need this length of wire? Why was this not shortened? Why are these just running across the middle of the floor where people put their feet and shift it all around? There's that brown wire. This goes to the siren. Why does it need to be so long? And all this extra wiring. Look at this. All this extra wire. Why does it need to be this long, wadded up? I mean, this is passable. This one wiring harness right here. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is or why that mess is. And this is absolutely ridiculous. Oh man, you would think I was in here and wired this thing up. That's crazy. Well, I guess I'm gonna spend some time tracking down some wires. I just want to make it work right now, but we'll get back in there later and figure out that mess. I might have found the problem. It looks like we have one of the bigger fuses. This is a 50 amp right here, and it's really hard to tell, but it's broken just a little bit. So I don't think I have any of these square fuses around. So it goes right here in this block. What I did is I put the test light right there where we need power. So let's see if that lights up if I short across it with the screwdriver right here. So I'm I'm gonna poke this guy right here and see if we get some light off of that. Can you see it? Let's go inside. Okay, tell me if that lights up. Is it light? Nope, there it goes. Yeah, it's working. On, off, on, off. So that is our problem. We got to blow the fuse out here. So I don't have any fuses like this laying around. We're going to have to go into town, and I'm not quite ready to go there yet. So I'm going to finish wiring this fuse box up, not the fuse box, but the switch box. And if we short across there, that should be good enough to make sure the lights work. Hopefully we don't catch anything on fire. So this guy right here is what was cut off of the back of this right here. This one and this one here. If we hook these two guys back up, we should get power back to our, whoops, this one. We should get power back to our switch box that controls our lights. And then we should be able to test them and see if we got lights. All right, so I wired back up those two hot wires. We got power leading to it. So now we need to see if this stuff is gonna work or not. There should be lights there. There's some here. A lot of times they have them in backup lights and there. So let's see if this stuff works. Let's give it a try. Flip the switch here. Okay. Oh, there it is. Working. Do we have stuff here? Yeah, we got stuff here too. These are strobe lights. You don't see strobe lights much anymore because everybody switched to LEDs. Oh, look at that. She is working nicely. Let's check out the rest of it. All right, we also have these side lights right here for, you know, when you're doing traffic. What else do we have? Everything's on. Those are the takedowns that are wig-wagging flat back and forth there. So there should be a button to make those wig-wags work. We have a mirror light here. It's kind of dim. It's not doing much good. What do we have on the front here? Clicking. The wig-wags are clicking. Can't see them real good. Oh, there's strobe in the front of that one, but this one's not working. So we got a strobe light out right there. We can fix that at some point. And this LED isn't working here either. Got to fix that as well. But the light bar looks pretty good. It needs to be shined up a little bit. We got another LED there. Looks pretty good. I like these on each side of the brake light. Those look a lot newer than any of this stuff. This was definitely put in when the car was new. But yeah, that looks pretty good. This wiring fiasco is a mess though. We got a PA. Test. I don't hear anything. Don't hear anything. Oop. Oh, that switch is a little wonky. We'll just put it on 2. Check. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. The siren should be on right now, but it's not making any noises. So, looks like our driver might be bad. I don't know what's going on there. Now we got takedown lights, left alley, right alley, and maybe we have an arrow stick there. Let's see what those do. All right, I'm gonna turn all these guys on. Right alley, left alley, takedowns, and what I'm hoping is an arrow stick. Whoop, what's that? Oh, it's a gun rack. So yeah, you hit that and then you pull on that, your big old 12 gauge Mossberg or whatever you got goes right there. Just click and you're ready to go. Nice. Okay, so those buttons, those are your takedowns to turn these are takedowns. That's right and left alley lights. And this is your arrow stick for when you're, sitting in traffic and you need to tell people which way to go. We should be able to make it go right or left. Oh yeah, there's full right. And that is full left. So neat. We have lights. Okay, I have just spent some time putting the seat back in and putting the siren box back in and the radio and the storage thing, and everything's bolted back down the way it should be. So I think we should take this out for a ride, but first probably need to run the buffer across it real quick. We can't run around looking all dirty, so I am just gonna hit this lightly with the old rubbing compound, put a little shine on it, and we'll see how she looks. All right, she is looking pretty clean. The only problem is, well, it really brought out the scratches. It made them stick out unbelievably. That is something. Those are way in the paint too. They're not going to come out with more buffing, that's for sure. But the white looks good. The black looks pretty good back here. Everything's nice and shiny. We have, oh, that's just residue I didn't get. And this side, it's scratchy too, but not as bad. I don't know, maybe we're gonna have to either just leave it be, or wonder if we can find some new fenders and hood. That'd be, yeah, I mean, it's got some chips and stuff in it. I don't know. We'll see what we do with this one. But this hood is, the paint's flaking and cracking really bad. So it's like they painted it and it probably sat and idled too long. I don't know if this was a black car that they painted white or a white car that they painted black, or maybe they did the whole thing. Anyway, the paint is not that great. It's got a lot of orange peel left in it. I mean, if the scratches weren't so bad, we could really get in there and buff on it, which we might do some of that as well. But I think it's time to go for a ride. All right, it is time to go for a little bit of a ride. So we got our lights and everything working just fine, but we definitely are not gonna activate those on the street because we don't wanna go from sitting in here to sitting back here. Uh-oh, the door handle. There's no door handle on the inside. How do you get out? Uh-oh. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't plan that out too good. I thought this was going to be funny, but it's not quite as funny as I thought. Ow. Okay, we won't be doing that again. All right, here we go. Let's pull this thing out and go for a joyride. All right, one lap around the block. See how she does. It's a little bit loud. It's got a exhaust leak somewhere. I don't know where, but she's louder than she should be. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Can't have a noisy police car. Well, she shifts in all the gears. It's in overdrive right now. Maybe we should take it out of overdrive. I can never remember. Are you supposed to run with overdrive off? Yeah, I think you're supposed to run with overdrive off on these cars. Going over under such and such mile per hour. I don't remember what it is, but that's why these transmissions go bad. People lug them too low in overdrive, and that really wears on the clutches and the transmission. So I think that's one of the weak points of the old Crown Vic. Transmissions have a tendency to go out, probably because of that very thing. So I think it's time for a little traveling music. Here we go. Well, it seems to run and drive and steer and stop and everything just fine. I was checking the oil change sticker, and it looks like the last oil change was in 2021, but apparently they stopped driving it right about then because the mileage is right where it should be. So this has been sitting for a few years, and it fired up, it ran down the street. Got the lights working. We don't have the sirens working though. We're gonna have to order a new siren box and get that working definitely. And we need a little piece for the middle. And what we need? We needed that, the strobe light here and that LED light over there to make everything work again. We're gonna buff out the light bar too, make it a lot more shiny, and these lights. And then we'll think about the hood or some other things, make it look a little bit better. It deserves a second chance at life, and I think it should remain a fully marked police car. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Until next time.